It's another day, the sun is shining. Got to know what's going on around you. Wake up, it's the time to motivate your mind. Come with me, let's make this moment brighter. Wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Come on and wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Hey.
Good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise. Happy Labor Day. I'm Anastasia Palacios.
Good morning. Not only is it Labor Day, TGIF, I'm Philip Simon.
Always a pleasure to be in your company, and of course, as we celebrate Labor Day, we can't help but also remember those that would have passed last year in the Labor Day tragedy.
It was sudden, and Nehemiah sung a beautiful song just a couple of weeks ago here on the show, a tribute to them. And of course, we remember them today. We remember their families, remember the children, we just want to encourage you to continue to be very careful in everything that you do. I mean, whether it's Labor Day or not, but certainly our condolences again on behalf of the counselors.
Yeah, certainly. And this particular holiday always reminds me of my grandmother, one of the leaders in the labor movement many years ago, Teresa Hyler. And they would have had a Labor Day parade in her honor, I think back in 2010. And so always mixed emotions for me on this day as well as I remember her. So Mom, rest in peace, missing you, loving you, thinking of you always, and looking forward to today's show because we certainly have got some trailblazing women from the trade union movement that's going to be sharing with us today, and just a reminder of kind of the work that you do, that your legacy lives on after you've gone on.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, certainly the legacy lives on, and unions play an important role. I mean, sometimes we tend to think that maybe they're just pursuing self-interest, but it's a critical role that they play. And I think the better we get at these relationships, the tripartite relationship, the better we'll be as a country. We look forward to the conversations we had this morning. We look forward to, they've been in news quite a bit recently, so there's certainly a lot of issues out there that need resolve.
I think for me, Phil, one of the biggest concerns, and I've had my challenges with unions, I won't deny it.
We all
I really
remember
won't.
I was, with the Chamber of Commerce.
Yes, I really won't deny it, and I think that we still have to look at the way that our economic model works. There's so much complicated issues there. One thing I will not take away from them is the rights and the freedoms that they've fought for, that so many of us enjoy now. And I think it's been interesting for me as a person that's interested in human rights, watching what's happening in terms of the abortion debate in the United States and the withdrawal of those rights, and then seeing the conversation pan out about the hotel unions and whether or not they should be getting those automatic gratuities. And I would be lying to you if I told you I'm impressed with paying gratuities and VAT. It annoys me. It bothers me.
Not when it's mandatory. I mean, it's a conversation for sure.
And yet, though, I understand that so many people have fought to gotten to this point. And so I guess for me, it's just interesting to be in a time where you fight so hard to get to a place, and then somebody could take all the fight away and remove what's been done. So interesting times that we live in, and certainly ones that I just want us to be aware of and observant of, and make sure that we're looking at the struggle and what we've gotten to come to this point, and then making sure that we're making the right decisions moving forward.
Correct, absolutely. Historical context, to today, and of course planning for the future. I mean, those are the things that we all have to put within our sphere of balance in the country. So of course you can be talking today with the Women's Association of National Congress of Trade Unions and the work that they do. Of course, we'll also be talking with Senator Jennifer Isaacs-Dotson. Always interesting when she's on. And of course, this is the weekend time. We've got the live weekend calendar.
And of course, we can't have one conversation with our laborers without having a conversation with the employers. We've got Crystal Ferguson. She's the vice president down there at the Chamber of Commerce and Employers Confederation, a long name. She's going to be with us this morning. And Shell is here. Whenever Shell's here, I know it's either summer or it's Christmas and something good is coming. So Shell is here with their summer promotion. And we're also very happy to take a look at the beautiful, so stunning La Bougainville Resort up there in beautiful North Eleuthera. Good morning to all of my family up there in the Bluff. And we're going to get a look at what's ahead for the weekend in store weather-wise right now with Godfrey Burnside.
Weather at Sunrise, brought to you by Bahamas First. first in insurance, today, tomorrow.
Thank you, Star, and good morning, Bahamas. And your first look at weather at sunrise on this Labor Day holiday. We do have high pressure building across the islands. It's looking a great day in store weather-wise, but those afternoon showers and thunderstorms will build up and cause us some showers by afternoon. Any weather day, partly sunny, hot and humid, and the chance of a few showers and likely thunderstorm mainly during the early afternoon hours. High temperature 91 degrees Fahrenheit. Tonight, few patchy clouds on the muggy side, and there's a chance of a late night shower. Your low temperature going down to 76 degrees Fahrenheit. And some region highs and lows across the Caribbean. Barbados 85 and 78. In Jamaica 82 and 73. In Trinidad 91 and 76. And the Turks and Caicos Islands 90 and 76. Across North America, Atlanta 81 and 71. In Raleigh 83 and 71. In Miami 89 and 79. Dallas, Texas 87 and 73. And Toronto, Canada 60 and 51. As we go through the weekend, pretty good weekend still weather-wise, but we'll elevate the chances for showers come Sunday into Monday up to a 30 to 40% chance as a trough develops over the northwest Bahamas. Though temperature daytime will be in the low 90s, at nighttime in the upper 70s. That puts you up on your first look at weather at sunrise. I'm Godfrey Burnside. Back to you, Star.
Thank you so much, Godfrey. Here's a mind-boggling statistic. According to the World Economic Forum, it will take 202 years to close the global economic gender gap at our current rate of progress. 202 years for us to be at the same place that we should be. And this is why we so desperately need women to be fighting for our rights, both in labor and in the halls of governance. So today, we've invited leaders from the Women's Association of the National Congress of Trade Unions of the Bahamas to talk about the work that they do. Very happy to welcome Sharon Martin. She's the president of the Women's Association of the National Congress of Trade Unions and the past president of the Union of Public Officers. Teresa Martimore, who's the Bahamas Financial Services Union president, and Senator Jennifer Isaacs Dotson, who's the immediate past president of the Union of Tertiary Educators and president of the Caribbean Congress of Labor. Woo! All those titles, some phenomenal women sitting before me. Ladies, good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Good morning.
Always a pleasure to have you with us. And, you know, we were talking about the show and what we wanted to do different for Labor Day. And we said, you know, what we need to do, we need to look at the women who've really been behind these movements and played really a critical role in getting us to the point that we're at today. So we're very happy to have you. And I want to first learn about your organization, because I didn't always know that you guys had something separate happening there within the trade union. So talk to us about who the Women's Association of National Congress of Trade Unions is.
Well, thank you, Star. The Congress itself is the voice of labor.
Okay.
So the National Congress of Trade Unions of the Bahamas, the women, it's a separate association in terms of the constitutional. We made some constitutional amendments because, as you are aware, with those stats that you just revealed, we now have to make a preference to look at the women in terms of getting the leadership of the women going. And so that is particularly one of the reasons why the Women's Association has been now made a part of the Congress itself. Now the association or branches, we said in the past, it existed, but what we have done is we have now enshrined it in the Constitution, so that we're giving women their place in the Congress.
Okay, all right. So you took that bold step, right? We hear about it as it relates to seats in Parliament sometimes, and whether or not we should have those sorts of numbers and quotas as it relates to women. And you took that step with the union. Generally, when you look at the work that you do, and any of you are free to answer, is there a percentage that you can articulate or a specific number of women that we see working in our trade unions? Have we seen that, and Jenny, you've been in this game for a while, have we seen that increase over the years? What's that dynamic been like in terms of the actual numbers?
The Bahamas is actually unique in the Caribbean, that they have more women actually involved in the trade union movement than throughout the region.
Okay.
Throughout the region, you will still find men dominate the labor movement, but in the Bahamas, we've had more female presidents of the National Congress of Trade Unions Bahamas and various unions than perhaps any other Caribbean country that I know.
Okay.
So that makes us very distinct when it comes to the trade union movement. Somehow that needs to transcend itself to the political side.
Certainly.
We see the need to vote for more women to be, like you said, to grace the halls of Parliament and of course the Senate.
Yeah. Have you guys had any opportunity as women in the union to not just advance the work of the workers generally, right, which we've seen our unions do? We thank you guys for weekends and for vacation and, you know, but things like maternity leave, were those sorts some of the fights that you as women in the movement would have worked toward for Ward Women, and are there any others that I might be missing that you want to share?
Well, let me respond to that particular question. The women as women, you know, God didn't form women. God fashioned woman. So it's a difference. With men, he just like the concrete slab, you know, here, there, thank you. You know, that's forming. But fashioning, he took the time to give us some intuition, that sort of stuff. So as women, we take that into our leadership. So you're looking at things like when we look at our industrial agreements, for example, we're looking at the things that affect society, affect us in our homes.
Okay.
Let's take disaster management. Disaster management for women is not the same as it is for men.
Okay.
Believe it or not. And one of the things that on the agenda that for going forward that I wish for the Congress to look at is to partner with the ILO in training us on disaster management, where in particular when it comes to women.
Okay.
We're the ones who have to decide the furniture needs to be put away, the furniture needs to be put back down, the water is, the carpet is sogged, do we throw it away? We are the ones making those determinations. So how do you now return to work after a disaster? Now the men get up and, you know, they go, we put the furniture down, we're gone, right? But now we have to return to work. We have to perform at work. We have to come home and deal with getting the children back to normal for school and all that sort of stuff.
Right.
So these little details are not looked at when it comes to the women. And so as unionists, these are some of the things that we now have to begin to look at. Disaster management, major one.
All right. So we look forward to hearing more about that in the future. But as I think about women, and Teresa, I'm reminded here, especially looking at your badge, about our fallen sisters, those that you guys would have lost from the Financial Services Union. 1 year later, what is that like? Because I can only imagine, right? And I think the nation would have been so gripped by the struggle of it all. But what has it been like for you and your union, losing those members?
I think it's 1 year later, it's reality for us.
Okay.
It was like a dream, and you would wake up and it would be gone away.
Yeah.
And 1 year later, I guess celebrating them all together in one place, it was like reality kicking, and they're really not with us.
Right.
Especially when I look at my Assistant Secretary General, Tammy Gibson. Tammy was there every first Monday in the month for a meeting.
Yeah.
And the thing with the Bahamas Financial Services Union is our executive comprised more women than men.
Okay.
And so missing Tammy was big time.
Yeah.
It was something that we had to get used to. You look at her chair and you look at a picture and you said, Tammy's really not here.
Wow.
But I think yesterday, 4 of them in one place, it was truly reality.
Yeah.
That was the first time that we actually celebrated 4 of them in one place.
Wow.
Because each one of them would have had an individual funeral service,
Right.
and then you never went to 2 families at once. You
No.
visited one at one. But
Yeah.
getting all of them in one place yesterday was big time.
Yeah, I can imagine. And I think for us, the Labor Day movement will always, we'll always remember them as we move forward, because I don't think you can celebrate labor without acknowledging their sacrifice of their lives in this movement. Jenny, when you look toward the future, how do you feel? How do you feel about unions? I'm concerned about some of the stuff that I see happening, and from just a human rights perspective, to know that so many people have fought, and then to see personal opinions aside, or whatever, that fight taken away concerns me, and so I'm concerned. How do you feel about the future of the country and of unions in particular?
I think unions are still relevant and still has a place in society. I think we need to do more of education and training, particularly particularly our young people know our history. I think we've really fallen down on that, and unless you understand your history, you'll never understand where it is that you need to go.
Right.
So I think that is critical. We need to do more of that the Women's Association again may be taking up that mantle, but we really need to educate, particularly young women. What I was going to say, globally, you're going to find with quotas that you will find, for example, at the International Labour Organization, they mandate that delegations going to the ILC conference, which is coming up, must be gender balanced.
Balanced, right.
So you'll find a number of agencies are now requiring that women are a part of delegations and that they are more included in a lot of international things. But education and training is critical for us. I think a number of us may move on the side, as I served as the past president of the NCTUB as well, the only woman to ever do that. But we must encourage other women to take their rightful place in the trade union movement, and that is critical. And Rosalie Fox is a prime example of that. She always fights for women to be included, and of course Nella Rain Harding, we must not forget, who also passed. You know, I think it's important, but I think trade unions are still relevant. Trade unions still have a place in our society, and without them we will not be where we are today. But we can't sit on that and think that, okay, everything is fine. Our young people have to understand, and I think too that they are going to have to go through some challenges to appreciate what the trade union movement, why it is so important to this country and the development. And if we are not careful, we're going to lose some of the many benefits that we already enjoy if we don't stand up and train, particularly our young people, to take over when we move off the scene.
Well, ladies, thank you so much for joining us this morning on Bahamas at Sunrise. I think the unions are in good hands, and certainly we know that with you three. You've been beacons in this movement for some time now, and I know the work that you're doing outside of here to work with young people in schools and to encourage them to learn more about you. And so I trust that the future is in good hands. Thanks again for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise on this Labor Day, celebrating today those lives of the 4 women that we lost last year, but also acknowledging the lives of those that are still with us and still keeping up the fight. We'll be back with more after this commercial break.
I'm Jennifer Baisden, Group Sales and Marketing Manager for Bahamas Air, and it's my pleasure to invite you to experience Houston. From out-of-the-world excitement at Space Center's Houston, the gateway to NASA's mission control, to the over 10,000 restaurants representing cuisine from more than 70 countries. Houston has it all. Come, experience Houston with direct service on Bahamas Air. For more information on flight and packages, visit bahamasair.com.
Good afternoon. First response. How can I help you?
I've been in an accident on West Bay Street. Can you send someone to help?
Yes, ma'am. A first response team will be there in 15 minutes. Are you hurt?
No, I'm fine, but a bit upset.
We're glad you're not hurt. Please, try to relax. Our team will take care of everything as soon as they arrive.
First Response provides immediate on-site service and support from the scene of an accident through the claims and repair process. And it's free to all Bahamas First insured drivers in New Providence, every day for any type of accident. If you drive and want First Response on your side, call 321-FIRST or visit bahamasfirst.com for the name of an authorized Bahamas First agent. First Response can't prevent an accident from happening,
but it can certainly ease your mind when it happens.
Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. I almost want to say welcome back to the Bahamas Chamber of Commerce, because in the house we have the Vice President of the Bahamas Chamber of Commerce and Employees Confederation, Crystal Ferguson. We are engaged in so much dialogue during the break, just kind of reminiscing on old times. But of course the Chamber of Commerce has always played a significant role. It's known as the voice of the business community in the country and around the world. Right. Crystal, welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Thank you.
All right.
I'm so pleased to be here.
Yeah, Labor Day, right?
Yes.
Labor Day. Unions, of course, and the rights of workers is where we've been spending a lot of time talking. It's been in the media over the last several weeks. It just seems as though this time of year we always have these types of conversations. But let's chat a little bit about the Bahamas Chamber of Commerce and Employees Confederation in terms of, just a quick synopsis to remind our viewers of the role that it plays.
Well, obviously you know intimately, and I thank you for the role that you had played in your past life at the Chamber of Commerce. But as you said, the Chamber of Commerce is the voice of the private sector. And in doing so, we believe that advocacy, advice, and access is paramount to the business community. The role we play is one where we speak on behalf of the private sector, we lobby on behalf of the private sector. We think that we have a good and collaborative approach with government. Government, of course, is a key stakeholder in the private sector, though not a part of the private sector or the chamber, but definitely a key stakeholder. Many times we liaise with government to move the needle forward so that the country can progress as a whole. So that's essentially the role we play. We have roots as far back as 1907. You would have seen where in 1935, Alvin Brennan, along with Sir Roland Simonet, started the Chamber of Commerce that we see today. In 2011, we had a merger with the Employers Confederation and the Bahamas Chamber of Commerce. Hence, we have the full mouthful of a name today.
I mean, and it's not only a full mouthful; it's a heavy load in terms of what you represent. You know, one of the arms of the Chamber of Commerce, as you just mentioned, is that liaison with the government, and it's quite a bit of work that you do, particularly as it relates to legislation review, and of course these are issues that affect commerce and industry. Speak just a little bit about the internal workings of the Chamber of Commerce when it comes to its partnership, and hopefully it is a strong partnership with government in terms of the proliferation, I would like to say these days, of legislation that is coming forward and affecting businesses.
Right. Well, we do have a pretty strong partnership. The recent legislation that would have been promulgated in the House, the majority of which the Chamber would have had foresight of in the consultative process. Of course, there's always room for improvement with regard to consultation, but we're not starting from ground zero.
You know, again, the work environment, you know, there's always a new headline when it comes to that. But of course, these are, again, persons employed in the different businesses, and even though you are the voice of the employers, there's been quite a bit of lamenting within the employee community. You know, what are some of the common issues that you hear within the business community coming from the workers?
Well, coming from the workers, you would hear that there are not enough jobs. Right? And from the employers, though, standpoint, the number one issue that is lamented is the productivity of current workers and the fact that there's a skill gap. So you find that there's a correlation between not enough jobs and the skills gap. So that's one of the biggest issues that affect both the, I would say, employees, workers, and the employers.
You know, we are on a track and a path towards the WTO. The government has made it very clear. The Chamber of Commerce would have also recently completed a study in this regard. Speak a little bit to what the general feeling is coming from the business community with regards to WTO and trade in general, international trade in general.
Right. Well, with regard to international trade in general, of course, everyone is waiting for a boom in the economy. And apart from making sure we develop what is at home, we need the foreign direct investment and the international trade to come in to further support our local initiatives. With regard to the general feel about WTO, of course, with anything new, there is some trepidation, but I believe largely persons are hopeful to see if this will benefit the country as a whole. You mentioned that we did commission the Oxford Economics Report. That was a milestone for the Chamber of Commerce, and that initiative was led by our chairman, and the board fully supported it. We felt that it was a necessary step so we could get some factual data in terms of what this will do to our economy, what would be the overall impact, and it is a report to be pleased of.
We would have, you know, government, I should say, would have just presented the budget. Of course, it's currently being debated. You know, last week. What has been the general feedback from your membership within the business community thus far? And of course, I mean, I guess it kind of temperature reading in terms of what the economic climate is like right now.
Right. Well, from the budget, our members felt as though there were some highlights. We would have seen that a number of line items for a number of items were reduced. The duty was reduced. What does that translate into? That translates into businesses being able to now bring in certain items, furniture, fridges, stoves, at reduced duty. That translates into consumers having better pricing and the businesses being able to give more competitive pricing or more competitive pricing with like their U.S. counterparts.
Release the valve just a little bit. Again, you know, wonderful work that you guys are doing down at Chamber of Commerce. And of course, it's open to all and sundry. I mean, persons who want to join the Chamber of Commerce can simply contact you if you provide that information.
Yes, yes. Our number is 322-2145. And if anyone wish to become a member, we have individual membership, we have firm membership. It is open to all and sundry. I would encourage persons just to join. I would be remiss, seeing that this is the Labor Day show, to not mention our tripartite council. It is a wonderful initiative. It is the unions, the employers, through the Chamber of Commerce and the government. And through the tripartite council, you see where the needle is being moved forward and disputes and issues are being able to be hashed out at a round table, so to speak, and heard.
As opposed to in the streets. Crystal, thank you so much
thank
for being
you
here
for
at Bahamas
having
at
me.
Sunrise. Representing the Bahamas Chamber of Commerce, Vice President Crystal Ferguson. You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
COB prepared me to be a leader by teaching me to work hard for what I want. I'm the first chief internal auditor at the University of the Bahamas. To me, that's an honor to be able to do that. I feel like I'm giving back to a university that gave me a start in my life. I'm Errol Thompson, and this is my UB.
Apply today at www.ub.edu.bs.
Hi, I'm Davriel, and welcome to Rev Tips, where we answer your most important Rev service questions. Today's question is, how do I set up a Rev My account? It's super easy. To create a Rev My account, simply visit www.cablebahamas.com and click the My Account icon. Next, select the Create Account option. Please have a copy of your latest statement on hand. Enter the information as it appears on the statement to the respective areas on the form. When you've finished, click Create Account to continue with the process. Once you've registered your account, you can use your username and password to check your account balance, view past statements, and pay your bill online. And that's your Rev Tip for this week. Thanks for watching, and be sure to join us next time.
Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. We hope you're ready to take off with Shell because they're offering multiple vacation prize packages for you to win this summer, along with some other great prizes. And we're here to tell you more about this exciting promotion with two of my favorite gentlemen. Whenever they come in, I know it's a party. We've got Rufus Johnson, he's the marketing manager for Sun Oil Limited, and Edwin Thompson, who's the retail sales representative for Sun Oil. Good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Good morning and happy Labor Day.
Thank you. Happy Labor Day to both of you. Edwin, you don't have your Christmas hat on because it's summer promotion this time.
We're doing whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes.
To make some people happy.
I love it. I love it. I love it. That always means that something good is happening at Shell. Let's talk through the process. I pull into Shell, which is my gas station. I go to Shell. What do I need to do in order to qualify for a prize?
Well, yesterday it started, and June 6th, we kick it off.
Okay.
And we're asking people to come and take off in Shell. And the promotion pretty much says itself. You pull in, you get your $20 worth of fuel. So if you get 40, you get your You
2
double your
tickets?
chances to enter the win.
Mm-hmm.
And we have some fantastic prizes.
Okay.
We have vacation packages. Rufus is going to tell you a little bit more about those.
Mm-hmm.
We have concert tickets. We have iPhones, Bahamas Air tickets.
Okay.
We have super value gift certificates, fuel vouchers. It's just a ton of prizes.
Okay.
Everybody can win. So we're doing whatever it takes
Uh-huh.
to make our customers satisfied during this summer, because we really appreciate their business, and we want to reward them for their service all year long.
All
Rufus,
right.
tell them what kind of packages we have.
Yes, good morning again. We have a lot of vacation packages planned for this year.
Okay.
We're going to climax with what we feel is the best one, because it's all expense paid for 4 persons to Harbor Island.
Oh, nice.
A family may decide to take it around the regatta season and enjoy some local festivities. But it's an all expense paid for 4 persons to Harbor Island will be the final prize. But we have tons of grand prizes that we're giving away this year.
Okay.
One of the other prizes is an all expense paid for 4 to Orlando for summer. So another family can take advantage of that. In addition to that, we have what we call our ultimate concert experience packages.
Okay.
So we're going to send 4 people off to see Bruno Mars perform in Las Vegas this summer.
Good stuff.
That's in September.
Uh-huh.
In addition to that, we're waiting on Drake to get off the sidelines of the basketball court. He's also doing a tour this summer, and we're going to send 4 lucky persons off to see that tour.
Okay.
All expense paid as well.
Okay, I mean, that's some good stuff right there. I would take a name in a heartbeat.
Of course.
I'm just putting it out there, just in case Shell want to bless me. I'm just saying. But no, it really does sound exciting for a family of 4 to go to Orlando. I know that's like a staple in the Bahamian household, and really a dream for a lot of kids.
Absolutely.
So that sounds fun. Vegas that sounds like an amazing time.
Of course it
Would
is,
love to
yeah.
be in Vegas, and then of course I love me some Drake, so that's also good. And Harbor Island is actually,
Beautiful.
I mean, like cream of the crop, right?
Yeah.
The
Absolutely.
biggest millionaires in the world fly into Harbor
yeah,
Island, mentioned in
absolutely.
numerous books about luxury, and so really it would be a wonderful Bahamian experience
Exactly.
for our locals to take advantage of that. So those are
Absolutely.
some great prizes happening, and all we have to do is pull into Shell. We get $20 worth of gas. We enter to win for every $20 that we spend.
That's right.
And all you do is fill out a form, right? Because I will
Right.
make sure I know all the steps. Because when I go to get
Exactly.
my gas today, I don't want no problems.
Yeah, because we started with our fuel message.
Okay.
Shell's fuel and journeys that matter.
Right.
And so we want to keep it in line with that. That's why we're sending people on these vacation trips.
Okay.
So
Journeys
they can
that I
enjoy-
see it. The journey.
Enjoy your journey, right? And so we just want you to participate in it. So there's a skill question there. that
Okay.
Blank is fuel and journeys that matter. And of course, everybody knows Shell is fuel and journeys that matter. So your keyword is Shell.
Okay.
Shell.
And
you
Rufus,
fill that in.
I can obviously come to Shell, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get my cards, and
Right.
I always get $60 to $70, so I should be okay putting in my
Definitely.
stuff. But I can
Exactly.
also share my posts online, right? Talk to me about like the online component, because I can also win prizes from Facebook and your social
Absolutely.
media.
So log on to our social media, like our page, and we're going to be giving away prizes weekly. While you're journeying with Shell, you need some fuel to journey your path, and so we're going to be giving away thousands of dollars in fuel vouchers.
Wow.
On top of that, we believe in the journey. We believe in taking this journey with family.
Right.
And so we want you to stay connected. So we opened up the vault. We have about 10 iPhone 10s
Oh, wow.
that we're going to give away this summer as well, every other week.
Okay.
So that you stay in touch this summer.
Okay, all right. And so how will the giveaways work? Every other week there'll be a giveaway, or
Every other week there will be an iPhone 10 giveaway.
Okay.
Every week there will be thousands of dollars every week in fuel vouchers given
Wow.
away. And every 3 weeks we will be giving away a vacation package.
Man,
Right,
this sounds
during
like a
the
good
live
time.
remotes,
So
yeah.
we started June 6th, which was yesterday, and we go until when? When does the
It's going to run until September 6th.
until September 6th. All right, so you got all this time to get
All
into
this
Shell,
time, yeah.
get
Absolutely.
fueled up. And and I always love my Shell attendants, because whenever I pull up, they always say, do you need anything from the inside? They really
Exactly.
are almost like a concierge at the gas station. And so Shell really is fueling excellent journeys.
Yeah, they're doing, the service champions, and we want you to be a little patient with them. You get into the service station, promotion has just started yesterday, so you may say, hey, I didn't get my receipt, so they're trying to get you out of there. And so we have launched it with them. We gave them all the mechanics of it, so they are fully aware of it. They have on their shirts, their T-shirts and everything. And so when you pull into the Shell, you're going to see them with these fantastic T-shirts on. take off with Shell,
Right.
and there's a big airplane on it, so you know you're going somewhere. And they're doing as much as they can. They're doing whatever it takes to make you satisfied when you visit a Shell service station.
Why is it so important that you think for Shell as a company to just keep giving back? Why is it that you guys do this all the time?
Well, you know, Shell, Sun Oil, Focal, we've been here in this community for years. And the Bahamian people have been great to us. The Bahamian people are our lifeblood. It's, you know, it's a Bahamian company, and so we continue to give back because it's important to us to fuel and to help fuel growth in the communities that support us throughout the years.
All right. Well, listen, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. I
Thank
always
you.
feel good. I really want to win this time, man, because I always feel like I can win when y'all come.
Yeah.
And I only win the presence of your company. And while I appreciate that, I'm looking forward to my Drake tickets this time. So thanks so much for joining us on Bahamas at Sunrise.
Thank you for having us.
You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. Remember, Shell is fueling those journeys, so stop into your local Shell service station. You can enter to win, but not my tickets because they're mine. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
Wait, that's Omar Little from The Wire. You think everyone is Omar from The Wire?
Wow, it's really nice to meet a fan.
It's like he's right here. I telling you he's being all type shows and stuff?
And you know, Rev Go Play plays a lot of good movies and TV shows.
Excuse me, can't you see we're watching something else? Rude.
Settle all your pop culture disputes with Rev Go Play. Watch, record, and stream all your favorite shows wherever you are. Free for all Rev TV subscribers. Rev, you and us together.
So who really own the Nassau Container Port?
Boss, that's easy. The government.
I do.
I do. Thank you.
I do.
I do. And one day, he will too. I do. Knock knock.
Here at the Nassau Container Port, we've diversified our ownership to give hardworking Bahamians a piece of the economic pie. And we'll continue to grow so that we can give you a consistent return on your investment. That's our promise.
Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise on this Labor Day Friday. Hope that you're enjoying the show so far.
Definitely, always fun on Bahamas at Sunrise. We have more conversation in between sets sometimes than we do on the sets, and you know, it's another one of those occasions with Crystal Rutherford Ferguson, Vice President, Chamber of Commerce. Of course, you know, it's still near and dear to my heart, and you know, we are. You know, things we were talking about, this alphabet soup of, you know, these trade organizations, WTO, back in the day it was like CSMA and FTA and all the rest of that stuff. But WTO has always been the granddaddy, right? And here we are 20 plus years later making that trek towards WTO, and it's still going to have the impact that was anticipated then, will be happening next year as well. It's not doom and gloom, but certainly it will be an adjustment all around.
Yeah, well, Phil, you know how I feel about it, and we're not going to get into that today because it's Labor Day, and we're just going to honor people's memories and proceed forward.
Yeah.
Remember that our father-daughter, father-son lookalike contest is happening, so if you are interested, please submit a photo of you and your dad, or you, dad, and your daughter or son. If they look just like you, if you guys are twinning it up, we've got some amazing prizes for you for our lookalike contest, so please send an email with your photo to sparker@tclbahamas.com. That's SPARKER@tclbahamas.com. Please send us your phone number with that photo as well so that we can get in contact with you. We need to have those in by June 11th so that you can make a special appearance here on our show and we can award the winner.
So I definitely can't participate in that, eh?
You and Naja can do it.
Me and Naja?
Yeah, you and Naja.
Oh,
but I mean, you know, like, you're like my co-host.
Thinking Kemuel.
So I'm sorry. No.
Can't get no gifts on Bahamas at Sunrise, boy.
No, I'm sorry. Sorry, Phil. This week I want to come in the second half for you.
Yes, Jenny Isaacs-Dotson will be here talking about the future of unions.
Yeah.
Should be an interesting conversation. As you know, she's the president of the Caribbean Union,
Yeah.
if I recall correctly. So it's always good when she's back on the
Always
show.
good when Jenny's here. And then La Bougainville, one of the most beautiful spaces you will ever find. Of course, up there in North Eleuthera, we've got...
Bias Eleutheran.
And I am, but this really is a phenomenal space. And
Yeah?
what they've
I
taken
haven't
it
been there.
and turned it into, yeah, you've got to see the segment that we've got coming for you. So our Carrie Aubrey has that for you. We're going to take a second look at weather with Godfrey Burnside, and then we'll be back more with the handsome Phil in just a minute.
Weather at sunrise, brought to you by Bahamas First. First in insurance, today, tomorrow.
Thank you, Star, and good morning, Bahamas. In your second look at weather at sunrise, first the tropics. The tropics remain quiet, and the tropical storm formation expected during the next 5 days. On the local scene, high pressure building across the islands. A good-looking weekend still weather-wise, but we'll elevate those showers come Sunday. In your marine forecast, winds today southeast to south at 10 knots or less. Seas 1 to 3 feet over the northwest Bahamas. East to southeast at 10 knots or less. Seas less than 3 feet over the central and southeastern islands. On Saturday, southerly winds at 10 knots or less. Seas 1 to 3 feet over the northwest Bahamas. Southeasterly at 10 to 15 knots, seas 2 to 4 feet over the central and southeastern islands. Then on Sunday, those winds become south to southwest at 10 to 15 knots, sea 2 to 4 feet in the northwest Bahamas, southeast to south at 10 to 15 knots, sea 2 to 4 feet over the central and southeastern islands. Your tides. You can expect a high tide at 10:42 this morning, next low tide will be at 4:46 this afternoon, high gain tonight at 11:09. Sunset will be at 7:56 this evening, rises tomorrow at 6:19, UV index 9, your water temperature 78 degrees Fahrenheit, and the moon phase now moving towards the first quarter. Extended look, good looking weekend into Saturday, some afternoon showers, but by Sunday evening into Monday, we expect increasing cloudiness with some showers and possible thunderstorms, particularly the northwest and parts of central Bahamas, and partly sunny over the southeastern islands, though temperature daytime will reach the low 90s, at nighttime in the upper 70s. That puts you up in your final look at weather at sunrise. I'm Godfrey Burnside. Back to you, Phil.
Thank you very much, Godfrey. We have the president herself. She's joining us once again on Bahamas at Sunrise. We're talking labor reforms, constitutional reforms, wage increases, improved working conditions, you know, the stuff that we talk about on a daily basis here in the Bahamas and around the world. But she happens to be the president of the Caribbean Congress of Labor, Senator Jennifer Isaacs Dotson. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Welcome. This is almost becoming home, man.
I bet.
We should be sitting over here doing this. But listen, it's Labor Day.
Yeah.
It's an important day on the calendar, nationally speaking, not just for unions, but
Right.
you know, the significance of it. We talk all the time about the evolution of labor, the evolution of work. And I know in the ILO, it's an ongoing conversation. Maybe we can start there before we kind of get into some of the local issues.
Well, you know, the ILO is celebrating 100 years this year.
Oh, okay.
So this is a big year for the ILO, and of course the International Labour Conference is happening this month.
Okay.
Well, it's happening, yes, May, in Geneva, Switzerland. And we have a large delegation going down to the ILO. And of course they're also celebrating 50 years within the Caribbean.
Okay.
So the they did a report on the future of work, published actually in January 2017.
Okay. The future of work.
The future of work. The Global Commission report on the future.
Yeah. What does that mean?
And that speaks to what's going to happen to work in the future and how it employs, how it affects work, and how it affects particularly as globalism, of course, of our societies.
Yeah. So people, I mean, it's one of those debates that we have from time to time in terms of the relevancy or the importance of unions, right? And then we say, well, is it our unions? Are they declining? You know, speak of the and the membership of the current state of where we are. I know that's a mouthful, but I make it out of that.
The trade unions are still relevant. They still have a place in society, and you know, like I have to try young people in order to get involved in trade unions and why it's important. However, due to kind of age it up and a number of things that happened within trade unions, as much, but I think the need to do that will definitely increase as time changes. The world of work changes, because in a digital economy, which is the future of work, moving to where people will not in a workplace, they will be at home in their pajamas working, and so that will definitely affect union membership, and so unions have to also evolve and change as the world changes.
See, I mean, those are certainly two big challenges. Right? Talking about recruitment, or as it evolves, remote workers.
Yeah.
What do you consider to some of the other challenges that unions face going forward?
Well, unions face, particularly coming out of the ISN report, of dealing with retooling and workers will be a challenge because people are afraid of technology. That is actually big business training people to overcome that fear. Power jobs are going to become non-existent. Yet we have to prepare now for the digital economy and for the future. And I think that that's an important trade union movement too should take part in.
You're president of the Caribbean that's also a representative body. So that's the umbrella organization for all unions
within the Caribbean.
Okay. Yes. How do you find the position that unions in the Caribbean are all facing some issues?
Unions in the Caribbean have issues because when you go to meetings and you come thread throughout things, the CARICOM, these governments collaborate, they seem to have the same playbook. It's like they speak to each other, what we're doing, so we've actually tried. And unions are now the same thing as well. How are unions in the Caribbean a bit more radical than we are? We are two partners of people. We tolerate a bit more with unions, like for example in Trinidad, they
quick.
Oh yes.
I mean, there's been a lot of talk. I mean, a couple of weeks of saying that, we aren't. I mean, we talk about the big one, but we don't generally use that. We say it all the time, but we don't generally use that. I mean, do you see that? I mean, but I mean, it could be Catholic in like ours that is so, volatile. Use one of those words, but I mean, what do you see the best approach between unions and employers, going forward? The issues on the table.
There are a lot of issues, but you'll find coming out of the same report that I'm talking about that the ILO did. Surprisingly, the main thing of that report was the human approach. Okay. And that was amazing for me, unionists, because ILO to be saying that we need to focus more on humans, take a more human-centered approach was very interesting because trade unions have always been about their members and members. But I think what they're saying is that the employers, governments, and workers need to take a human-centered approach in deep people. And it was like, wow, it take this long, 100 years, was to figure that it's all people. If people are not happy in the workplace, they're not going to be productive. If they don't feel good in decisions, they're not going to be productive. So these are the kinds of things. That's why social dialogue is so important in the tripartite structure. And people realize it doesn't always mean, I always say this, that people disagree. But at least you understand each other's positions and maybe we may be able to manage. That's what we have to understand. People are afraid of unions. I don't know why. You have to down and talk to the leaders, understand they are concerned with what their concerns are. Employers have to learn that. Governments have to learn that. That unions should be a part of even trade agreements. They should be a part of those decisions because those agreements, those persons coming in need to know that they're coming into a union environment. That's very important to understand. So that's how unions are. We can't continue to be afraid of each other. Learn that we must sit down as people, have a conversation, have difficult discussions.
That is, that is a transformation because you're right. Unions, we generally think aggression. We think something's about to happen. You know, and you know, so you know, going forward, I mean, you know, it is a human business that we're in, right?
Exactly.
I mean, at the end of the day, we react as human beings to circumstances before us, and we get together in a room and hope. You know, I do feel as though it's leadership, eh? You know, how are you feeling? You know, the state of the leadership, and leadership is not just an individual person, but I'm talking about, you know, the direction in which unions are going and the direction in which the country is going.
Unions, like I said, you know, even the kind of course in we have more involved, and I said that we have more women than any other in the Caribbean. Actually, we have more women involved in trade unions and having held top positions, which I think is important. However, we'd like to see that transcend in government, and for more women to be, of course, House of Assembly and, of course, in the Senate. We talk about this, the government's inclined to put in place a quota, because there are some governments in some that says so much women must be in the House of Assembly, so much women must be in whatever. So I think when you look at that and think about that, and that's going to be a decision that is coming out even in the Senate. I speak of that and the importance of having women and the role that they play. Women, we must support each other. The critical thing I think is important for me as a woman. I always don't because, you know, women, they look at me and say, oh, you use that rowdy trade unionist. Like,
man, of course not.
You know?
It's a theme, not just women, also men. But you know, certainly going forward, Labor Day, you know, we look forward to great collaboration. That's all of the things you talk, and you know, hope we can advance forward, upward, onward together. You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We've been with the president of the Caribbean Congress of Labor, Senator Jennifer Isaacs Dotson, legendary Bahamian. Thank you so much.
Most welcome.
All right, all right. You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. Here's your live weekend calendar.
Good morning, Sunrise. This is your boy Sovereign with your live weekend calendar. Deep Creek Lutheran Development Foundation presents Conch Fest Homecoming 2019, featuring conch cracking contests, judging of the best conch and pineapple dish, cultural fashion shows, and celebrating the retirement of Miss Willa Mae Sweeting. Music by DJ Navi and Playhouse Entertainment, with a performance by Stelit and MDs. Friday, June 7th to Monday, June 10th. Deep Creek Park, Eleuthera, 12 noon daily. The 66th Annual Long Island Regatta. Friday, June 7th to Sunday, June 9th. Salt Pond, Long Island. The Ministry of Tourism and Pineapple Fest Committee presents Pineapple Festival, featuring entertainment by the Ramming Brothers, Fanshawn Evans, Veronica Bishop, Puzzle, Julian Believe, D-Mac, and Blue Waters Band. As usual, there will be tasty pineapple dishes, kitty corner, petting zoo, culinary competition, pineapple eating contest, jungle rush out, and more. Friday, June 7th to Sunday, June 9th. Gregory Town, Eleuthera. Gates open at 12 noon daily. Grand Bahama Homecoming Concert featuring Sizzler, Shensia, Munga, City Girls, Waggy Tea, and more. Saturday, June 8th, Gombay Park, Freeport, Grand Bahama. 9 p.m. until. Alpha Sound Promotion presents Survival Weekend Cooler Wet Fest, Rejuvenated. Performing live, Shensia and Moto. Sunday, June 9th, Super Club Breezes, 9 p.m. until. That's your live weekend calendar. To have your event posted on the calendar, please don't hesitate to email kaubrey@tclbahamas.com. Alive. Believe in best.
Yeah, let's go.
Sprained her ankle.
He's live, babe. Cheap as we finish watching this movie.
every episode. I don't understand that.
See what y'all listening to is Fremont. Like season 1.
They say season 2 is where it starts.
A lot postpaid. You're there for your friends and matters, and we're here for you. With more data, stream all the shows and movies you love.
Sorry.
Letters of notification were returned.
What's the kid doing in there, though?
Come on, man, it's the best part.
For everything that matters. Alive. Believe best.
Since 1967, Focal has been a vital part of the Grand Bahama community, providing high-quality and great customer service. We continue to work and remain focused on fueling growth for people throughout the Bahamas.
Needed an excuse to for the next property I'm going to give you that reason. Carrie Aubrey has more on La Bougainvillea.
La Bougainvillea, a level 4-star boutique hotel and restaurant situated on 50 acres of the most beautiful pink sand in the world.
La Bougainvillea is right now very small and very private. We have only right now villas. And motion rooms. We have around 21 rooms and still growing right now. We've been just for like 2 years, almost 2 years, and most of the Bahamians, the locals, they're getting to know about us, and so many tourists and homeowners. Yeah.
Bougainvillea, most popular restaurant.
So the restaurant recently, just like last few months, people have been talking a lot about our restaurant of freshness. We have our own and then serving our greens, we have tomatoes, so many bananas that come up, and then we have growing guava, rosemary, mint, visa, probably more than 50 more. All of this mints we use from our own, and everything is very organic. Because we're small right now, we can serve everything fresh. We do a lot of seafood and of course varieties, lobster, obviously, grouper, snapper, and crabs as well. Most of the time, we get local fishermen coming, showing up on the beach, and they'll the fishes. It's so touching for us. Talk to the guests directly, and we tell them that this got today.
The guests can enjoy the beautiful sand beach and activities the resort provides.
The beach is almost 1.5 miles long, and then people go for a walk in the morning. Also beautiful, and then of course, for very personal service. People can go down there, relax, get spoiled down there. We offer from breakfast, lunch, dinner down there if they want, and we offer drinks on the beach. We have kayak boats and excursions like snorkeling. So popular on the island.
So employs many local Bahamians.
Majority travel most of these like Bahamians, and we have quite a lot of fresh young like young ones, and we have never worked in anywhere else before. So we like to give them opportunity by providing training.
You can find more information about Bougainvillea online.
Right now they can go to our website www.bougainvillea.com. be on the Instagram, on Facebook. So, yeah.
Reporting for Bahamas at Sunrise, I'm
Introducing Confidence Life Insurance Company. We offer insurance solutions for you and your business with a range of life plans of all ages, seniors up to age 85. Confidence Life is a product for the entire family. All our health plans are renewable for life. We also provide options for dental and vision, disability, income replacement, and more. Come in and see us and learn about our options.
How are we making Rev work wonders for you? We are doing it together. Tell us what you want, and we heard you. On to broadband? How about speeds up to 1 gigabit per second? One shorter hold, 2 hours max. We promise. Want to take advantage anywhere? Well, your Rev Go Play app is here. Rev, we've heard you. You speak, we listen. Rev, you and us together.
One thing, two things, blue thing, old things, things that are small, things that are grand, things that fit just right into the palm of your hand. Fox Hill Nursery, a large selection of garden supplies. If you can see it in your mind, you can find it at Fox Hill Nursery.
Thank you so much for watching this edition of Bahamas at Sunrise on Labor Day. Again, we stop to remember once again the persons who would have lost, the family members of the persons who have lost their lives last year. We encourage you to be safe out there on the streets today and the entire weekend.
Certainly. We'll see you here on Monday.
Bye.
Bye.
Sometimes life goes by in a heartbeat. Then life could seem